Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty, my pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightbreeze Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her.
And
what?
that's it.
That's it. That's all I got.
Nobody comments.
I'm abstaining.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Alara Spinelspark, whose pronouns are she, her. And I am really excited to get to Ozrin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Moira. My pronouns are she, they, and I play Varys, whose pronouns are he, they. And I'm really excited and really nervous to welcome you all to Ozrin.
Ow!
Oh, ow!
A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, the three had a long conversation about Ivy being from the Feywild. We learned that her father is from Elisora, Ixalan to be exact, and Ivy's family, the Nightbreezes, are a shady group who Varys knows of and Ivy's father fled from. Ivy told the others about the Fae and Titania, god and queen of the Sealy Court. Alara and Varys caught Ivy up on the near-world-ending event known as the Forsaking, in which the gods and their magic nearly destroyed Elisora, and so they were hunted down and killed or forced to flee. They told Ivy about how the monarchy monitors casters by their magical signatures and only certain tiers of magic are legal here. Ivy was very confused about how a human monarch can monitor such things, but Alara pointed out how volatile magic can be by pointing to the direction of the sunken town of Grimford. With a high insight check, Varys caught on that Ivy did not seem to be aware that the town sunk, but said nothing. The three traveled on towards Ozrin, and were ambushed by a hook horror who they killed not before the creature got its hooks in all three, leaving Alara with another permanent scar. Alara bandaged everyone up, and they continued on, arriving at Ozrin only to be stopped at the gate, and we pick up now after Ivy successfully lied about her name.
The woman you're talking to nods and says, well, all right. Welcome to Ozrin. I hope you enjoy your stay. I should inform you that if you can't find a room at the inn, we are opening up beds at the town hall. If you need anything, head there.
Thank you.
Of course.
Ivy, nods her head.
She steps aside and lets you through. And Varys nods to her and thanks and walks behind them.
We walk through?
Without issue, you walk through the gate. You see at the top that there is a metal kind of grating that can come down and block off the gate. You assume in cases of battle, but nobody gives you any trouble. And once you pass through, no one even gives you a second glance. The streets are busy. For becoming sundown, people are either rushing home or rushing to a tavern you expect. All the buildings around you are more than second story. Some of them are second story at baseline, and then a couple others are 3 stories. Maybe you suspect some of them might have a basement. It's very strange. They seem to be, for a small town, seemingly in the middle of nowhere, they're pretty well built up. On every building, though, and in between them, you see trees and scattered vinery. There's a lot of rose bushes around as well, you notice. And even the air, as the breeze goes through, has a faint hint of rose. There's no tension in this town. Everyone seems to be just going about their business.
Alara smells the air because it smells nice. And she goes, "You can literally smell the roses. Who could ask for a better turn of events after our weekend?"
Well, I guess it depends if the smell of roses is actual roses or if they're just slowly poisoning the whole town.
Alara looks.
Slow turns and looks.
Alara's smile just slowly fades. And she starts walking in a direction, and she has no idea where she's going.
Ivy shrugs.
That was extremely paranoid of you, Ivy.
Do you want to talk about something?
Are you alright? No, Alara, wrong direction. We're going straight.
Oh. And she turns around and comes back.
You keep walking through all these stone buildings. on this cobblestone path, and you head over like a bridge almost. And you see underneath is passing this this rushing flow of water. And further up on the right, you see that it's coming from the mountain. There's a waterfall up there. And the water is slightly tinted pink. And you realize that it's from the setting sun.
Maybe they are poisoning them.
Ivy looks up at it and she's about to say something and then she realizes and she's like,
Oh, man.
There are some rose petals scattered into there, of course, from the runoff. But nothing seems to be amiss. I don't think that they're poisoning the town, Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Sounds
they
like
all
we
say.
found our next mission.
Yep. You head up the street, and Varys is going to guide you to the inn. He says, so you folks would like to go to the tavern right away, would you?
I would very much like a hot meal
Fair enough.
and not just like beef jerky.
Oh, is beef jerky not to your liking?
She shrugs.
I don't blame you. Beef jerky gets boring after a while.
You know what doesn't get boring?
Granola?
Chocolate chip pancakes.
Which I believe Zath has at his tavern.
Yeah, he told me that.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Hmm.
I tried to order them when we were in Grimford, and he said that Reg didn't have any, but he had them at his inn, and I was like, well, why are you in this inn if this is not your inn? And then he said he would give me chocolate chip pancakes if I ever came to Ozrin, and wouldn't you know, here I am.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
The tavern is in the market square, so it should be just up ahead. Eventually, you guys do make it. You come out of this main street and get it opens up into a large circle of an area where you see people packing up kind of like market stalls. Some are actually dragging them home, and some people are closing down storefronts. And a large crowd is making its way to the largest building in town square, which has a sign outside with an hourglass and some vines wrapping around the hourglass itself, and it says the Timeless Tankard.
Aww.
This is a 4-story building, quite large, and you can already hear the uproarious laughter coming from inside. The doors are wide open. They're kept open at all times, it seems. And you walk up the stairs. You look to your right, there is an on-ramp as well. You go in and you see a room full of people, several tables and chairs. This is definitely bigger than the inn that was in Grimford. Already people are drinking, making merry, having dinner, chatting. Off in the corner you see a bard setting up for the night. And to the left of the room, at a dark wood bar with some lush green vines wrapping around the top of it, you see a half-elven woman with dark brown skin, long light brown hair, with tight curls and blue eyes. They have smaller pointy ears, sort of like Alara. Both are heavily pierced, and she's got a few scars. One on her face, just going across her nose, that you can see. But she's dressed in like a flowy green dress and a nice apron, and she is loudly talking to somebody who's sitting at the bar about some sort of drama that was happening that day in town, and they're laughing. They're laughing about it. Who's taking over getting the rooms?
I guess we should get rooms, right?
I would very much like to sleep in a bed again, so yeah,
And we'll see if they have rooms, and you said food, right?
preferably. Ivy walks up to the bar.
Laura goes with her.
My verse is going to follow. As you approach, you see the woman kind of looks up from her conversation, asks the gentleman in front of her to hold on a moment, turns to you three, says, hello, welcome to the Timeless Tankard. What can I get for you?
Hello. We're looking for 3 rooms, please.
3 rooms? Okay. Give me 1 moment. I'm just going to check and see what we have available. And she'll duck down, take out a book, flip through the pages, then she sets it on the counter. And she looks up, though. I actually think you'll only be needing 2.
That's a little... Who do you think is together in this equation here?
We three rooms. We just need three of them.
No, I'm interested. Who do you think is like shacking up with each other? What vibes are we giving off as a group?
Alara's slowly backing away.
She smiles, and you see like the pleasant smile go to like this like mischievous one. She looks behind you, makes direct eye contact with Varys, and like wiggles her eyebrows. Just, I don't know. I didn't assume that, but is that the kind of dynamic we're looking at here?
Ivy full body turns and looks at Varys.
Varys shakes their head and is just like, no, Nimue, that is not the dynamic that we have. And she just grins and she's like, I had a feeling. It's good to see you back, Varys.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Laura, come back.
Laura comes back.
Thank you very much. But yes, 2 rooms for them, please. And yes, Varys, your room is available still. Like we said, it's always ready for you. All right, so we have a luxury room available and 2 modest rooms.
I'll take a regular room, please.
I will also take a regular room, please.
All right, and were you looking for just the rooms, or did you want food included in your price?
Please, food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how long will you be staying?
I actually don't know how long I'll be staying for. Could we just kind of give it a couple of days and figure it out from there?
Oh, of course. Let's say 4 days, and then we can readdress after?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect, all right. Just give me 1 moment. And do you want house specials or any dietary restrictions?
I'm a vegetarian.
Vegetarian? Okay. And she like makes a quick note in her book. And for you? And looks at you, Ivy.
I'm not a vegetarian.
No? Okay. Any allergies or?
I'm allergic to oranges.
Oh, good to know. Absolutely. We typically serve orange juice in the morning, so that could have been bad.
She's like, we put oranges in everything. Starve.
All right. I'll calculate your costs, but I'll burn out your food right away. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And she makes quick work to head out back.
Are there seats at the bar?
There are, yes.
I think Alara will sit at the bar.
So will Ivy. She'll sit next to Alara and deposit a sleeping Bia onto the bar counter. Ivy's trying not to fall asleep at the bar, I think, at this point.
I think Varys leans on the counter and just kind of like gently nudges Ivy's shoulder to keep her awake.
Mm-hmm. I'm awake.
You definitely look awake.
My eyes are closed, but my mind is alive.
All right. Whatever you say. Not sure how that works, but
It works, Vez, I promise.
if you say so.
I do.
What is everybody's passive perceptions?
16.
10.
Ivy, despite nodding off, I think as your head sort of like nods towards the top of the bar, you notice something strangely shaped across the bar from you. Like there's little ridges. And then after a moment of your eyes refocusing, you realize those are tiny fingers.
She stares at them, like brows furrowed.
Ivy, you look up and you're met with 2 different colored eyes, blown wide, just staring at you. One is blue, one is purple, with a head of now kind of matted, tight curled brown hair and cool dark skin. And they look like they're gripping onto the edge of the the bar for dear life, trying to look at you. I'm sure they think they're being really sneaky. You can tell this is a child. Their eyes are way too wide and there are no like age marks.
It's like it's not like a gnome staring at me. Something.
No.
Ivy looks at the kid and she just like kind of cocks an eyebrow. She's like, hello.
Oh, and they duck behind the.
She looks at Varys.
Here. Mission averted. I've been busted. Run!
How cute.
And you see this tiny person run behind where your bartender disappeared and turn so sharp they skid and you hear a squeak and they run.
Oh, okay.
Varys just kind of chuckles.
Is that an employee or?
In a sense, I suppose. Not actually. That's one of Zath and Nimue's children.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. The eyes.
Yeah, there's a set of twins, so he looks around.
Ivy also looks around.
Ivy, you look below your bar stool and there is a tiny child.
She lifts her feet up so quickly. She's like, oh,
They're like climbing in between the bottom of the chairs, looking up at you. curiously. So they look almost identical. This one just has slightly more feminine features and amethyst purple eyes.
She's got her feet up so she doesn't accidentally kick them. And she's like, hello?
She's like, darn, bust it again.
What were you trying to do?
I'm trying to get the inside scoop, of course. There are mysteries to be had. I don't know who you people are. You're new. And you're with my best buddy.
Ivy smile, and she like side-eyes Varys.
She climbs out from beneath the chairs and stands in between you, Alara, and you, Ivy, between both of your stools.
Alara goes, hi.
Hi!
What's your name?
She just looks at you. My name's Willow. What's your name?
Hi, Willow. My name's Ivy.
Oh, that's a pretty name.
Thank you, so is Willow.
Oh, thank you. Are you like a princess or something?
You see the tips of her ears turn purple, and she just sort of goes, are you?
I sure am. That's what Dad says anyway.
How cute.
Because I'm his little princess. Beside you, Alara, you see Varys with his head in his hands and his shoulders shaking.
Alara just smiles.
So, are you friends?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Are you staying here?
Yes.
How long?
She like gives a one-shouldered shrug, and she's like, at least 4 days.
I have 4 days? Amazing. And she runs. She runs away. Like, she's just like a bat out of hell. She runs off, skids to a stop, runs over to Varys, reaches up, and gives him a hug.
Aww.
She's like, I'll talk to you later. I have things to figure out. And she runs off after her brother.
How cute.
Obsessed. I love this.
In the back kitchen, you hear someone shout at somebody to not touch the sweet buns. Then you hear little patters of feet run away.
Ivy looks at Alara and Varys, and she's like, I would like some sweet buns.
Me too.
I'm sure Nim will probably bring some out. She typically does. And as if on cue, Nim returns with 3 plates of food, evenly balanced on her arms. And she comes and sets them down in front of you, Alara. She sets down, to your surprise, chocolate chip pancakes with a side of fruit.
Her eyes go wide, and she like looks at she looks at Ivy, and she looks at Varys.
Like, Zath told me about you, so I had a feeling that you would like some of these after the hard day you must have had.
She smiles. Thank you.
Of course.
They look delicious.
I hope they're just as good as you imagine. No oranges anywhere to be found, I promise you, she says to you, Ivy.
Thank you.
And what you see in front of you is a lovely stew, very hearty, with a smaller portion set to the side and some, looks like a, kind of like a cut of a steak, slightly less cooked, and some salad on the side for you, as well as a brewed tea. Alara, you also have a brewed tea, and Varys seems to have stew as well, with some salad and tea.
As soon as the food touches the tabletop, Bia wakes up. She's like sniffing around.
The little steak looks like it might be for Bia.
Bia doesn't wait for there to be an acknowledgement of the steak being for Bia. She is already going after it.
She smiles watching Bia like chow down happily, and she's just like, all right, so that was a good call, clearly.
Very much so.
It's like, anything I should know dietary-wise for your little friend there?
Meat.
Just meat?
I mean, honestly, she'll eat kind of anything, but meat is probably the best option for her.
Fair enough. So your total for your rooms for 4 days, and including food, is going to be 3 gold, 2 silver each, except for you, Varys. Yours is only a gold. All right. And he takes it out and hands it over.
Alara hands hers over.
Ivy hands her 4 gold.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
She just nods.
If you need anything else, you just let me know. All 3 of you. 4 of you, sorry. Looks at Bia.
No acknowledgement. Too busy.
Too busy chowing.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Nimue, but you 3 can call me Nim.
Nice to meet you.
And I'll be around. You too.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Alara. Alara Spindlespar.
A pleasure, Alara. And I heard your name is Ivy.
Yes.
One of my little whirlwinds. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
They love to just play around in here.
I don't I don't have a lot of experience with children, so...
Oh, you'll get plenty here. They're very nosy. We have 2 more kicking around somewhere.
In the rafters, or...
Oh, she looks up.
You look, there's a child rappelling down from the ceiling.
Make a perception check, Ivy.
19.
Ivy, you look up and on what might be the level of the 3rd floor, laying on the banister beside the railing, you realize that this is an open courtyard. All the way up, there is no roof until the very top. And you can kind of see wrapped around are banisters for people to look down and talk, enjoy the merriment. Across are beams to support everything. Sitting on one of the beams up on the 3rd floor, leaning against where the railing is a purple tiefling, smaller in size, their tail kind of waving back and forth with their nose in a book.
Aww.
You're right, they are on a banister.
She just nods.
Yeah, she looks up, and then White clicks her tongue. She goes, I may be in a few moments before I can come back and take an order. I have to go talk to one of my children about safety again. Pardon me. And she heads off.
Alara is chowing down. She is enjoying her chocolate chip pancakes.
Are they good?
Yeah, do you want to try them?
Sure.
She gives you
a bite. She eats it. Yeah, these are very good.
She looks embarrassed.
I'm alright, thank you. I'll try them in the morning.
Are you sure?
Fairly sure, thank you.
You're missing out. She shrugs and keeps eating.
Mhm.
Your loss.
I'm quite enjoying my stew.
It is good.
Before you, 3 little plates get slid in front of your food really quick. And they're like little sweet buns with some frosting on it. And you see the little person run away again. One of the twins.
Ivy immediately starts eating it.
It tastes like a cinnamon roll.
Yum.
Without the roll.
Ivy is taking a spoonful of soup into her mouth. She looks at the other 2 and she's like, honestly, I don't want to deal with the other monies.
The what?
The other ones, like the silver and the bronze ones.
You know, it's not as complicated as it originally seems.
No, it seems very complicated. There should be one. There should be one, and then you just one.
You should write a letter to the king and tell him that.
I'll go talk to the man myself.
I'm sure that will go over well.
I have... She stops talking.
You have?
No, I don't have anything.
Insight check. It's a 9. It's not.
Varys is just like, wow, she forgot what she was saying.
Yep.
Is Laura making an insight check?
No, she's eating her pancakes.
She doesn't care.
Nope.
Varys chuckles, is like, we should probably take a moment to teach you how to use currency at some point.
Alara nods.
I just think it's redundant. There should be one, and it should be, that's it. Just the gold ones.
That would make sense if, things didn't cost more than 1 gold.
I mean, they can cost more than 1 gold, but like the smaller ones.
Less than 1 gold.
They shouldn't.
Okay.
Varys is just like nodding, like, we're going to have a sit-down conversation about money and economics.
We're going to have a financial discussion.
We will talk about your finances sometime soon.
The only place I have use for money is here. I've never touched money before.
That's valid.
I came here.
And do you plan to stay here for any sort of time?
Probably.
So should you not learn how to use the currency?
Until I can get my meeting with the king, I'm sure.
I'll put it on the top of the priority list. Meet king.
I don't know if it should be top of, but like maybe middle to top.
Well, you sound pretty worked up about it,
I just think it's redundant, and I think we could solve a lot more issues if we didn't have to worry about converting the big coins to smaller coins and then the smaller coins to even smaller coins.
While you all are having this conversation, I need you all to make perception checks, please.
I'm going to impose disadvantage on myself because I'm so...
Alara got an 11.
I got 2 11s.
Nice.
So plus 6, that's a 17.
Okay, that's pretty good.
16.
Ivy and Varys. Not Alara. Alara is happily eating her pancakes, not a fucking care in the world. As the conversation dies down, you hear little snippets of conversation here and there. It's a packed inn, right? There's a lot going on. A couple of tables away from the bar where you're sitting is a bigger table with like 4 or 5 people. And there's 2 of the people at this table who are like, come on, tell us again, tell us the story. This one didn't hear the story. And after some coaxing, you watch a high elf, looks like a late teenager, maybe early adulthood, 5'8" teenager person, a little chubby. He has glasses and fair skin with like mid-length brown hair pulled into a bun. He kind of sighs, chugs what you assume is some alcohol, puts it down on the table, and stands up, and he begins speaking. And he's like, okay, but this is the last time I'm going to tell it. Do either one of you look over?
Like, subtly.
And you see that as he says, this is the last time I'm going to tell it, he has like a little like smirk on his face. Like he's not all that bothered to be telling a story. You know what I mean? He goes, okay, all I know is what I was told by one of my friends who is friends with somebody who works at the Grimford guided ghost tours.
Oh boy.
Ivy looks up now.
And he goes, and that's where it all started. There were these 3 strangers who apparently came into town the first night of the big weekend of Delilah Grimm's disappearance. And they came in, they were volunteering with the guard, and they rounded up these pickpockets. And then the next day they went down into the ruins. Somebody went missing. People go missing there way more often than anybody ever likes to admit. And they brought somebody out who had gone missing, who got captured or something. And they rescued them. And now you can see, like, as when he said the Grimford guided tours and when he mentions Delilah, some of the tables around him get silent and you watch as they all kind of start to hone in on this story. And he goes, and then they shut everything down. I guess because somebody went missing again and it was this big to do. The head of the guard didn't want any more trouble down there, so they shut down the tours and everyone was really, really upset about it. But these 3 people, they just kept going back in and they went back in and apparently they rescued like 3 or 4 people who got snatched up who worked for the tours. Like a bunch of tour guides just went missing. Somebody broke an arm, somebody broke a leg. Apparently they carried out a dead body. And at this point, Alara kind of turns her head because it's getting more and more quiet. She looks at Ivy and she looks at Varys. Like, who the fuck is this person talking about? Now, Lauren, that's the energy you get. She's like, what? And then he goes, and I heard that there was a portal down there. And you hear some people like, kind of like roll their eyes. You see a couple of people go back to their meals, but the inn is getting quieter and quieter as he's telling this story. And he goes, I bet those 3 are the ones who wound up rooting out the whole cult. And somebody from a table away goes, what cult? And he goes, I don't know. That's what people are saying. And somebody else says,
cite your sources, bitch.
Yeah, cite your sources, bitch. And he goes, I told you, one of my friends knows someone who works at the Grimford guided ghost tours. This is where I got all of my information. You watch as a young adult, half human, half Aarakocra woman stands up and she has raven hair, very dark eyes, feathers on her forearms, and very sharp bird-like features. And then like a tuft of feathers, like a very deep widow peak, like from in between her eyebrows that goes up and forms her hairline. Very slim, and she's wearing just a dark cloak, like covering up her outfit. And she stands up and she goes, and tell me, what did these 3 look like? The guy looks over at the woman. Do the 3 of you do anything at this point, or?
Varys very subtly puts his hood up.
Make a stealth check.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Ivy's just listening.
Alara looks around for a 19 perception check.
Damn! Get it, girl?
She dialed in. She got that boost from those pancakes.
She's rolling an advantage from her pancakes.
Yeah.
She sees...
As she should.
Varys, as you put your hood up, she watches a man who looks very similar to the woman, the half Aarakocra woman.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he could be her twin. He's sitting at a table right next to her. She watches him watching you put your hood up. And then he looks away and he looks back at the bird woman. At her question, the high elf he shrugs, and he goes, I don't know. All I know is that they looked kind of unusual. They stood out in a crowd. The woman looks at him and she kind of huffs and she goes, right. So they looked unusual, but you can't describe what they looked like. He goes, this is why I didn't want to tell the story. I'm just telling you what I heard. If you want to believe me, you can believe me. And he looks around at the crowd who has most of his attention at this point. And he goes, some of you came from Grimford, didn't you? If you were there 3 days ago, you know what happened. All of these robed figures stormed up from the tunnels and started literally murdering people. He goes, I watched someone get stabbed in front of my own eyes. That's not a lie. I'm lucky to be alive.
He feels a hand on his shoulder.
He looks.
And he sees Zath standing over him with a smile, a pleasant smile on his face. And he goes, all right, I think that's enough for tonight. There are little ears around.
He nods his head and he goes, puts his hand up, and he goes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any harm. He goes, they egged me on, wanted me to keep telling the story, and he sits back down.
He pats his shoulder, maybe a little too hard. And he looks around at the other patrons and he goes, I don't really think this is a conversation for a happy crowd. Why don't we get some music going? Have some fun? Gods know we need it.
As if on cue, the bard, seemingly to snap out of their enraptured trance with this story, picks up their guitar and begins to tune it and after a minute, starts playing a pretty peppy tune.
Nice.
Something you could dance to. Some people call out drunkenly in agreement with Zath's interruption. It says something to the end of, yeah, it's been a long freaking day. Let's just have a bunch of fun. It's too tense for the lively atmosphere this place usually has.
And Zath starts just small movements dancing. Just to get people to stop thinking about it.
The regulars at this tavern know that the deep conversations and the more rowdy activities happen after 9. That's when the kids are no longer here.
And then once everybody's sufficiently distracted, I think he'll walk over to the bar.
I think Nim goes up to him and gives him a kiss on the cheek. Says, thanks for that, love. Pats him on the shoulder and continues.
He just beams at her.
Alara kind of whispers, well, that wasn't even a halfway true story. Maybe there were 3 other strangers who were rescuing people from the tunnels.
Totally. Mm-hmm. He was probably that teenager, right?
The one who hated his life?
Correct.
I was thinking him, or it could have been Joy too.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know.
An entire town sunk underground. So people are going to talk.
They're going to talk, they're going to write poems.
Unfortunately, whether it's going to be a story of heroics or a tale of destruction and sabotage, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's a good idea to stand out too much right now, though.
I can't really help it.
He gestures to his hair under the hood.
I mean, a bottle of black dye in your set.
True.
Do you think it's true, though, that they came up and started killing people?
In the hopes that maybe somebody would kill them in exchange. There's too much that we don't know, I can't say for certain.
Alara has stopped eating her pancakes, having lost her appetite.
No! The greatest travesty!
Her pancakes are ruined! She goes, well, I think the best way for me to be inconspicuous is to not be here. So I'm gonna go to my room and sleep a lot.
Before we all go to bed, I do have some things I would like to distribute amongst one another.
Ivy looks confused.
She looks at you.
We can do it here, or if we want to be, less conspicuous, perhaps in a room.
Did you get us gifts? When did you have time to get
I
us?
didn't get you anything.
He looks confused.
I mean, if you give me like a day, I could get you something.
No, it's
Is it like a we did that a lot of we saved each other and helped each other?
Is it a friendship bracelet?
It is customary for people who go and do tasks together to divvy up what you find.
Oh.
So I'm dividing up what I found.
Yeah.
Okay. I took some stuff too.
I took trauma, so I can't really divvy that up.
You can honestly keep it. I have a decent amount for myself.
You can share it. You can talk about it.
I mean, you all were there.
Ferris looks at you weird. Sure, but we didn't all get strapped down to a altar.
I mean, to be fair, we were hanging from meat hooks. I think we were gonna be food. They were gonna eat us. So, chained to a table, hanging from a meat hook. Are we weighing?
No.
It's all the same.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
You say altar, I say meat hook.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a phrase of theirs now?
Mm-hmm. You say altar, I say meat hook.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that beside your plates, there's also room keys. It seems that she had set them down with your plates.
Should we go up separately so we don't raise any suspicion?
It's up to you.
I think we're okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going upstairs, so...
Let's go.
After you.
She gets up and she trips and everyone looks at her. I'm just kidding. They go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Whose room are we going to?
We can go to mine.
All right. You open the door and it is dark in the room. You do faintly see a bed, a decent size. Could probably fit 2 people in it. Nicely made up. And a little, not like a big desk, but a little desk in the corner there. The windows are made of stained glass with beautiful scenery of a tree and red petals flowing down from it. The last rays of day are filtered through it.
She admires the window for a moment and then sets her pack down, takes the wand out of her boot and sets it down.
Perfect. Verse is going to enter the room behind Alara and Ivy and shut the door.
So?
All right. One moment, and he kind of takes the pack off and sets it down on the chair beside the desk. Opens it up and starts taking everything out and putting it on the table.
Ivy just increasingly is like, what? How much stuff?
A lot. It says there's a decent amount of items that we found. So he takes off his coin pouch from his belt and he kind of starts counting out some things, dividing them into 3 piles. And he hands to both you, Alara, and you, Ivy, 18 gold, 7 silver, and 3 copper.
Hey, money!
Money!
I'm rich, bitch. I got 25 gold.
So on the table, he has a potion, 2 rings, a small journal, a folded letter, a pouch of some sort with something in it, and an ornate dagger that he has set down.
Alara takes out a heavy-ass spellbook and 2 small gems that she found from the altar.
Ivy just sort of holds her hands out. She's like, I've got my life somehow.
That's an important thing.
It is. I'm glad we all made it out relatively unscathed.
Me too. That was a wild time getting out, yeah.
Insight check.
You're just gonna say everything she says.
It's a 9 again. It's not happening.
Oh, and she also takes out the amber. No, the amber is in Norman. She takes out the geode, the garnet, the quartz, and the 3 other gems that she found in the tunnels. One is blue, one is pearlescent, and one is something else. I don't know.
Cool.
So many gems to keep track of.
I don't know if there's anything in particular any of you are interested in, but this is everything that we found. If we are going to continue to travel together, then perhaps we should organize things strategically. It holds up the potion, for instance.
What do you suggest?
I think we should give the potion to Alara. Mostly because Alara gave us potions in the beginning, so
I agree.
sort of a repayment for them. He hands you, Alara, the potion of greater healing.
She takes it. She goes, I didn't give them to you for you to give them back to me. You both helped me when, well, you didn't really have to help me. And if it wasn't...
I mean, technically, I can't give back the one that I took.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, you didn't have to, I didn't expect anything back. It was more so like a, hey, you both got kind of hurt, helping a stranger. So, which, by the way, I probably would have never, I definitely would have never gotten my jacket back, if it wasn't for the both of you. So I don't think I said thank you. Or if I did, then I'll say it again, because, I really
Alara,
appreciate it.
Alara,
Yes? Mm-hmm.
please stop thanking me.
Okay.
She waves her hand as she says it.
I'll try, but I can't make any promises.
Please. Please
For
stop.
the love of gods.
For the love of gods.
It's like, then take it for assurances.
Yeah.
And so on.
Okay.
It's either you hold it or Bia holds it.
You also have the pockets, so it's easier for you to carry things.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it that way if you don't want to take it as compensation.
Okay.
I think I'm going to return the gold band back to Riven, because I believe this is the wedding band. He holds up the ring he took off of Delilah.
Are you gonna go try to find her? Also, what if she's dead?
Oh.
Well,
I had considered that. If she is dead, then I will keep it. I'm not going to actively look for her, but if we run into her, I would like to return it.
sure.
The other ring Varys holds up and he goes, there's something strange about this ring. I'm not sure what's going on with it. It holds a spell of some kind. And he sets it down.
I need to find a pearl. Once I do, I can identify stuff. So maybe once I find that, I can try to identify it and see what it is.
Varys nods. I believe the lake has pearls in it, if you are so interested.
Oh,
Fresh water, I don't know if it makes a difference for you, but...
no. Well, that's good to know.
So we can certainly go check that out at some point.
I don't really think I want any of this stuff. I mean, besides the gems.
That's fair. I will say, if you don't mind, I would like to keep one of the gems. Your choice. I just have a project that I am working on that I will need one for.
Okay. Ivy, do you want anything?
I would like a non-magical gem.
She points at the geode. What about this? You can have this.
Sure.
She hands it to Ivy.
You watch as she takes some strips of leather out of her backpack and starts wrapping it around and then ties it to her belt.
Cool.
You're gonna beat people with that, Ivy?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll never tell. No.
What's in the pouch? When Varys opens it.
Do you open it? Do you look in it? What do you do?
I think he's going to open it.
So it's a small pouch, it's like the size of a small coin purse. You look into it and it looks like there's 3 gems in there.
Can I make an Arcana check?
Mm-hmm.
See if there's an arcane shimmer to them. That is 19.
Are you peering into the pouch?
Yeah, he's not touching them.
All 3 of them have an arcane shimmer. Kind of like the other ones that Alara has.
So this pouch contains 3 more gems. I believe they are enchanted with some sort of spell on them. Not sure what they are. And sets them on the desk.
Okay. Alara takes them out. She empties them into her hand. And as soon as she does, she screams out in pain and shakes her hand. And you watch as 2 of the gems fall to the ground, but one of them sticks to her hand.
The fuck?
Ivy immediately hurries over to where she is. Well, what's going on?
It's stuck. It's really cold. And it's like frozen to my hand.
Reaches and just pulls a glove on and goes over and tries to like gently take it off of her hand.
Ivy runs to the bathroom to grab a cup of boiling water or warm water.
So, do you want to try to pull it off, or do you want to wait for Ivy?
No, he's not gonna pull it off. He's like, have you ever like, this is so stupid. Have you ever licked a pole in the winter?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
that's exactly what's happening.
So when you
that's what I imagine.
When you put initially when you touch the area around it, the heat from your body heat kind of makes like it detach a little. So he's trying to work on that.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check. And it's at this time Ivy comes out with the warm water.
18.
Like as hot as she thinks she can stand it, I guess.
Okay, so with an 18, as you start to try to pry it off, you watch as it starts to pull Alara's skin off of her hand.
He'll stop.
Ugh.
And you can feel through the glove, like you can barely hold this gem for more than a couple of seconds without having to remove your hand. And when you do, pieces of your leather glove are coming off onto the gem.
Okay.
My hand's getting really cold.
Ivy starts pouring the water on. Like she comes over, immediately starts pouring the water on.
So as you pour the water on, you watch the water freeze.
That's great.
Okay, Ivy pulls her hand out and you watch as a little flicker of flame appears.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I don't...
Alara puts her hand over the flame. Like not on it, but close enough to it.
Yeah.
You watch as the water that you poured on immediately starts to melt. And you both stand there with your hand out with this flame and Alara's hand over it. And you watch as slowly it starts to detach. And as it goes to fall, Ivy, make a dexterity save to see if you can move your hand out of the way in time.
I'm gonna try to get Varys to grab it so it doesn't stick to the floor.
Okay, so both of you make a dexterity.
16.
Okay, so you're good. So you move your hand out right as
it like starts to detach and she goes, whoa.
Yep. Yep. And what'd you get to catch it?
21.
With your gloved hand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and you swoop in and you catch it with your gloved hand. What are you doing with it? You can feel
I'm putting it back in the pouch immediately.
Okay, so you put it back in the pouch. Alara immediately pulls out her salve with her other hand and she like untwists. She with her mouth takes the top off. And she looks at the both of you because she can't. She's only got one hand.
Oh, Jesus.
Ivy immediately puts her hand on top of Alara's and casts Cure Wounds.
Amazing. So you watch as the kind of frozen raw skin just kind of heals itself up. And Alara does she makes like a, she opens and closes her fist a couple of times. And she goes, she sighs. And she goes, what the hell was what?
Some fuck shit.
Everybody make a
fuck shit roll.
Everyone make an Arcana check.
13.
22.
Nice. 18. Ivy, you don't know shit.
Aw.
You're like, that's some fuck shit. Alara goes, I've never seen gems can't just do that. Varys, as she says that, I think that you have read at some point that gems that were known in the past a long time ago, like pre-Forsaking, that there are certain gems that come from the elemental planes that hold the power of their element. You are pretty sure that this gem comes from the ice elemental plane.
Holy shit.
As you kind of rack your brain, and as Alara says, Alara knows a lot about gems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gems don't just do this. If there's magic in them, it has to be released somehow. And so that's the conclusion that you come to.
I think that you watch Varys disappear into their own thoughts for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Staring at the inside of this bag where the gem is. And he closes it. The other three, are they normal? What are they doing?
The other two that fell out?
The other two, yeah.
So the other two that are on the floor both have a sheen of magic over them. One of them is a small green fluorite gem. It's kind of like cylindrical with like 2 points on either side.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is circular, kind of like a pearl, but it looks like a crystallized gem. And it is also giving off, based on your Arcana check from before, it's giving off similar arcane vibe as the one that you just put back into the pouch.
He's going to pick that up, put it back in too.
Okay.
And close it up. The cylindrical one, he's going to set that on the table to the side there. When he closes it, he wraps the thread around it and pulls it tight and puts it back on the desk and goes, I don't know if you have ever heard of gems that come from other planes before.
I mean, I've read about them.
I believe that one that you just held is from the ice elemental plane.
Oh my god. How did it get here?
This was in a pouch that was on onyx.
And Ivy, you look down at the table of all the stuff that was set out. And as you look, because before you were like, I don't really want much, right? You got your little geode. You see that there are 2 small tourmaline gems that you immediately recognize are very commonly found in the Feywild. They have like this kind of rainbow-esque shimmer to them.
She picks them up. She goes, these are from the Fae.
Okay. Okay, so a stone from the ice plane, 2 stones from the Feywild.
What was he doing? How did he get these?
Do you think he got them, or do you think the cult got them? I am assuming that they were sacrificing me for some reason, and if it was to portal her...
Well, there were 2 portals open. One was coming from, like, one looked like it was being powered or fed, maybe, by Delilah's whatever she had going on. And I assume the second one was for you to do the same thing, right?
Probably. Ivy picks up the journal and opens it.
I think Varys is going to go for the spellbook to flip through.
Varys, as you pick up the spellbook, these 3 pages that were sticking out kind of fall out of it onto the ground. And Alara picks those up as well. Ivy, you open up the journal. It's a small, like, leather-bound journal, like almost like a pocket journal. It was found, I think, in Onyx's like little side pocket. Are you opening the beginning? Are you flipping through?
I'm opening it at the beginning, yeah, to see if there's anything on like the front page that's like my dastardly plans or my time with portals.
So
Onyx's Guide to Portals.
It doesn't say Onyx's Guide to Portals, but on the first page, you start to read, you start to look, and it looks like it's written by someone else. It looks like it's a letter, a little thing that was written to Onyx. Do you want me to read it?
It says, Dear Onyxy Poo.
It says, to my dear special boy, our chosen one, I write to you in the 708th year of our mourning, just 2 days after you were gifted to me by Mortimer himself. Born of the elemental chaos before my very eyes, the others may fear you, as they should. You were born to lead us, born to bring us to Mortimer as promised. In time they will see, and I shall protect you. As it has been foretold, the signs are already present. The power of the elements course through you. I shall teach you how to harness these powers. I am your sworn protector. By Mortimer's hand, you will bring this world to its end. Never forget your purpose, my dear Onyx. And then it's signed, Mother Protector, Elder Fenviren.
Ivy's reading that out loud.
Alara's like, ugh.
Yeah. There was this Mother Protector in the sacrificing room.
In the sacrificing room.
In the sacrificing room.
Varys, you do recall
seeing a woman.
You do recall one of the woman who escorted you to the mayor's office did say that she had been waiting 700 years for
my special boy.
For a special boy.
I think Varys full body shudders.
As you flip through this, do you continue to flip through the journal? Or do you guys wanna,
yeah.
Okay. So you see notes that look like they're in Onyx's hand. Like from here on out, it's all kind of the same writing.
Mm-hmm.
And you find that there are kind of notes about his training and just like musings about things that he learned from the elders. Well, you find a list of gems and which plane they came from. And there's dates on them. There's also notes and dates about expanding the tunnel network that they had underground. There's notes about how they were trapping people. There are some arcane equations. They don't make sense to you, Ivy, but you do recognize them as arcane equations.
Barely.
Yeah, barely. But they do have notes next to them denoting essentially blood magic, and then it has different lineages. So you'll see there's tieflings. There is one for a Kalishtar, some from Genasi lineage and things like that, as well as from the Feywild. And then there's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 dates on there that note power surges through this portal. And you realize that at least from the year 719, this portal has been open in some way, shape, or form. There's also notes for certain years where a portal opened and closed. In the year 751, that there seemed to have been some power sucked out, and there was some small portals that closed. 752, Delilah was captured. The portal to the ethereal plane was further opened, and there is another arcane equation denoting something more about blood magic. The year 754, an earthquake created access tunnels leading above ground for the first time they could come up. And in the year 756, Onyx became the mayor.
She's like listing out this timeline for everybody.
I think Varys is listening very diligently to the timeline, kind of like forgetting to flip through the book, just listening to everything Ivy's reading.
It's a lot of information to take in.
The sections where it lists people, like the lineages, does it have like, are there descriptions about like what they're best used for?
You get the vibe after seeing the trend here that what it sounds like to you is that they were performing blood magic rituals of people of certain lineages who did not originate on this plane.
Okay.
So, for example, a blood magic ritual with a tiefling opened up a small portal to the Nine Hells.
You said it lists people from the Fae? Like lineages from the Fae?
There is an equation for opening a portal to the Feywild.
Okay.
Using blood magic of Fae lineage, specifically Eladrin.
Okay, but they hadn't done it yet.
You think back to the woman who was hovering over you right before you transformed into the wolf, who stabbed you in the shoulder. And you realize that she was a very, very, very old, like the oldest that you have ever seen. You've never seen a person that old in your life. Summer Eladrin.
I think she turns to the two of them and she's like, I think the woman who stabbed me was a Summer Eladrin. Like a really, 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 really old one.
I have so many questions about that statement, it's not even funny.
What questions do you have?
In an effort to stay on topic, I shall refrain from asking majority of them. It is wild to me that there was another Fae down there.
I mean, I got through. I can imagine others have. It's a pretty easy portal to get through.
But, it's funny you say that because it's not. It's not an easy portal to get through. It's heavily guarded.
She like makes a face. She's like, I didn't see any guards.
There are scouts set up. There's a perimeter. The whole town is walled off. There's essentially a military base built around that portal.
The portal spit me out into the woods.
Well, I mean, if portals are opening up down in Grimford, who knows? One could have opened up, in the woods.
Sure, but these ones were opened intentionally,
Were they, though? Because it says, and she looks at the journal, it says that on these certain years that there was like a power surge, or I guess a magical surge, and portals were opening and closing.
Can he make an Arcana or history check to see if he can piece together why that is happening based on his past?
Yeah, make a, I think it would be Arcana.
21.
So I think with the 21, you're fairly confident, knowing all of this knowledge, knowing all of the things you've kind of pieced together so far, and especially figuring that some of these portals seem to be opening and closing of their own volition, and they were having to work to either keep them open or to keep them stable. It sounds very much like the town of Grimford was on top of a nexus point, which is where ley lines cross over and form highly magical areas.
He's so confused now. His you know that gif of the person looking around confused and there's just like mathematical equations floating there? That is essentially Varys's face right now. It makes sense to him, but there's some key factors missing. He's like, so suddenly it makes sense why everyone thought that Grimford was cursed. Well, that area was cursed anyway. That area was built on a nexus point.
Does Alara know what nexus points are? 16 on the die. Would it be a Arcana or a History?
I think Arcana.
So that's a 22.
Yeah, I think Alara would have heard the theory around nexus points for sure.
Okay, well, I mean, it would make sense that that's why portals can be open there to begin with, right?
That is true. Can you flip through the book that he has, the spell book?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see if there's any, like, he's not going to read all the spells in there. I just want to, like, have him flip through and see if there's anything in relation to the topic they're having right now.
So you flip through this book, you see a bunch of necromancy spells, and you see a bunch of, like, elemental spells. There are spells that have, like, broken equations. They're not complete, but you don't see anything relating to the portals or anything like that. It's just, it looks like it was just his spell book.
Okay. I think he closes the book and he looks at the journal. It's like, if you two didn't mind, I think I'm going to take the spell book and the journal and just give it a read over. I want to make sure that there isn't something that we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
And they just nod, leaving it at that. I don't particularly want the ornate dagger, so if one of you would like it, you're welcome to it. I'm sure it would sell for a pretty penny.
Sure. Do you want an ornate dagger, Ivy?
Sure.
Alara is going to make an Arcana check on it for an 18. As far as she can tell, it doesn't seem like it's magical, but she goes, if you want to hold on to it, and then once I can identify it, just to be sure, maybe don't use it until then, in case it does weird stuff like freeze your hand off, or something.
So I shouldn't give it to Bia?
No.
Probably not the best idea.
I just think Bia having a sword would be funny.
It could be amusing, for sure. I think that's all I needed to hand out.
You forgot one thing.
Did I?
She holds her hand up.
He looks confused.
She keeps it up there, like expecting.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're asking for.
She pulls her hand back and like pushes it forward.
High five?
Yes.
High five.
He looks at you very confused and like very like disjointedly connects his hand to yours. He does not understand what a high five is.
She's like, okay, watch this. And she holds her hands out to Alara.
Alara does a high five.
Like that. She holds her hand out to Varys.
He high fives her.
Yes.
And it stings a little.
She shakes her hand out, smiling.
Like, what is this used for?
It's like, you did good. High five.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from another realm, and even I know this.
I think it actually originated in the Feywild. And she shakes her head. I'm just kidding.
I would have believed you.
He just shrugs. It's like, I didn't know everything.
Deafening silence.
Alara goes, are you sure? You know a lot of things.
You do know a lot of things.
No, fairly certain I don't know everything. It's not possible.
I know we were kidding, Varys.
Okay.
I think we're all really tired.
They nod.
Bia starts snoring on the bed.
Well, I guess I'll see you all later.
Amara literally takes her hand and just clears all the gems into her pocket.
Except for the one, because Varys puts that in their pocket.
Make a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand?
Mm-hmm.
He already told her he was going to take... Oh, what a waste of a natural 20. And fucking real.
No, he didn't say he was... Did he say he was taking
Yeah,
that?
he was going to take... He said he'd like to take one because he has a project to work on.
He didn't say he was taking that one. Okay, she doesn't notice anyway.
Okay. 25 total for sleight of hand.
13 total for perception.
He takes the cylindrical fluorite one.
Cool. Ivy, do you want the Fey stones?
Do they have the ability to carry magic?
Yeah.
She's like, no, you can have them. You can put some pretty powerful spells in them.
Cool. I'm going to hopefully I can find a pearl soon and identify everything and figure out exactly what I can do with all these stones.
So I take it pearl diving is high on your priority list?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
That sounds like a fun activity for you.
It will be.
You don't want to come?
Are we all going together?
I just assumed.
I can't swim.
You can't swim?
She blurts out.
No, you don't have to go in the water.
I'm good here.
Are you sure? It's quite nice. You can actually see the mountain scape beyond.
And we're not going right now. It's like late at night.
We would be going another day.
We wouldn't be able to see them in the dark.
Can you, like, see the other side of the lake?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it's large enough to take little boats out on, but it's not... You can see the other side of it.
Alright, I'll go.
Okay.
Alright. I guess it's a plan for all of us, then.
But, like, not tomorrow.
No. I think we should rest for a while before we just start doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Good night.
Good night. She walks to the door.
Varys goes to leave, and he stops and is like, Ivy, you said, a summer Eladrin?
Mm-hmm.
Do Eladrin come in seasons?
Yes. Yes, we do. I'm currently winter. There is summer, spring, fall, and winter.
Oh, do you get to choose, or are you set to one? Sorry if this is invasive. I've never...
No, it's fine. Generally, yes, you can choose. Most of us choose to go with the seasons of where we currently are.
Oh, he looks at you. He's not going to ask. He debates it for a second, though.
He's like, it is not winter here.
No. He debates on asking, but he does not. Clearly, she's got her reasons. All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me. Anyway, I should leave you both to sleep.
I mean, do you have any other questions?
Oh, I'm sure I will. Give me time to sort them. I'm very curious about where you come from.
She nods. She goes, I have answers, so whenever.
I will take you up on that another time. Good night, Ivy.
Good night, Vez.
He makes a face, but he goes to leave, stops, thinks about bringing that up, believes it for now, and he's going to go to bed. It's like, did she just give me a nickname?
This is the 4th time she's called him this.
I know. He just realized.
This boy's gonna be in too deep before he gets the courage to be like, what the fuck?
He's so confused, but he just leaves it and he's going to go to bed, to his room.
Does anyone want to do anything before bed?
Yeah, Ivy's gonna write in her book because she hasn't been able to. She's gonna write down all the juicy details about almost being sacrificed and then not remembering.
Oh my god.
How she got out, and
yikes.
She's gonna end it with but you're not even getting this anyways, so what's the point?
Do you want to tell the audience who you're writing to, or?
I think the camera pans into the book before it shifts away focus, and all the audience sees is just anyways, but what's the point?
Aw. What's Varys doing?
Varys is having an existential crisis about a nickname.
I want to know what Alara's doing. She left first.
Alara goes to her room. She takes out a bunch of shit from her pockets with the intention of doing work. She takes out the letter that she never wound up mailing to her parents. She takes out the 3 old pieces of paper that fell out of the spell book that she forgot was in her hand. And she lines up all the gems on the desk. And she sits down on the bed. And then I think she's like, I'm just going to lay down for a second. And she falls asleep.
I'll lay down for a second.
I think she is exhausted.
I think adventuring is good for Alara's sleep habits.
Yeah. I will say she takes out the 2 foot by 1 foot chest and she opens it before bed. And she takes out of it a exoskeleton of what looks like what would be like a medium-sized dog.
In relation to IRL measurements? Or
yeah.
not D&D, right?
In relation to like in real life.
Okay.
And she just looks at it and then she closes the chest and she pats it. And then that's when she sits on the bed and is just like, I'm gonna lay down for 1 second. Like, I think she falls asleep, not the real sleep way. Like, she just sits down on the bed and just lays back. And
Aww.
she goes to bed.
She was exhausted.
Yeah.
Also, I don't blame her.
What's Varys up to?
I think Varys is going to go to bed, like, right away. Or at least to his room. He's going to set up all of his knives and stuff in his usual fashion around the room. I'm going to check for any weird traps or, like, things left in there, anything that's out of the ordinary. When it's fine, as it usually is, he's going to lock the shutters, set up everything on the desk, put his pack on a chair, probably put all of his books on the desk waiting to be read over at a later date. He is tired. So he is going to go and just kind of set his sight against the wall and go to bed.
Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S., if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat and after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pause is here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye! How you guys doing for coin, by the way?
Alara has 10 gold. She's living the high life.
Anything that I should know about diet for Bia going forward?
Just bottomless
Oh,
pit.
she doesn't say Bia. She says anything I should know.
She just inherently knows.
Yeah.
She knows everything. She's a divination wizard.
What was the other guy's name on the toll? Jeffrey or
No, Jeffrey we rescued from the hole.
Yeah. Jeffrey from his hospital bed was...
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, actually.
It could be.
I mean, to be fair, we were hanging. Hold on. Hold on.
And a child listening to this gruesome conversation.
Yeah, so I thought you were going to be like...
No.
One of the kids is like...
Tell me more.
You see tiefling tail.
Oh my God.
Periscoping like a cat tail.
No. Your room keys are there. And it has the room numbers engraved on the keys.
Arouse any suspicion?
No, I think we're fine.
First of all, why do you have to say it like that?
Well, isn't that a saying?
Arouse.
It's a saying. And I couldn't decide if that's a phrase Alara would say or not. Which is why I said it weird.
Yeah. You all enter the room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make a dexterity save for me. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
At this point, Ivy would just be like, all right.
Fine.
Here we go.
No, you all... No, she just keeps saying
Whether
it
Varys
weird.
knows it or not, he has a blind spot for Ivy, which is so funny.
He just looks at you weird. He just shrugs.
She looks at you weird.
She keeps saying it weird, so he's like, gets thrown off.
He's just gonna be like, this is just her personality.
Yeah, I was like, she just says
She's just
these
fucking
things.
weird.
She's
Not
from the
weird.
Fae. She says shit weird.
Mm-hmm.
only because we sort of took.
She's a weak ass bitch.
No.
Because functionally, Alara has 9 hit points.
Because.
But
She
she's like, I
downs it.
didn't. She just drinks it.
Just
No. No.
So this.
Abby's just listening.
Yeah. I was like, this place fucking sucks.
This place sucks ass.
It's like, what the fuck?